Rudali, Mahasweta Devi. In Tahar village, Ganjus and Dushads were in the majority. Sanichari was a Ganju by caste. Like the other villagers, her life too was lived in desperate poverty. Her mother-in-law used to say, it was because Sanichari was born on inauspicious Saturday that her destiny was full of suffering. At that time, Sanichari was a young daughter-in-law. She wasn't free to speak up. Her mother-in-law died when Sanichari was still young. She was never able to answer back. Sometimes the old woman's words came back to Sanichari. To herself she would say, "Ha! Because I was born on and named after a Saturday, that made me an unlucky daughter-in-law? You were born on a Monday. Was your life any happier? Shomri, Budua, Mungri, Bishri, do any of them have happier lives?" When her mother-in-law died, Sanichari didn't cry. At the time, her husband and his brother, both the old woman's sons, were in jail because of Malik Mahajan Ram Avatar Singh. Enraged at the loss of some wheat, he had all the young Dushad and Ganju males of the village locked up. Her mother-in-law died in great pain, of dropsy, lying in her own excrement, crying out over and over, "Food! Give me food!" It was pouring that night. Sanichari and her sister-in-law together lowered the old woman onto the ground. If the rites weren't carried out before the night was over, they would have to bear the cost of the repentance rites for keeping the corpse in the house overnight. And there wasn't even a cupful of grain in the house. So Sanichari was forced to go from neighbor to neighbor in the pouring rain, dragging the neighbors home with her and handling all the arrangements for the cremation. She was so busy that there was no time to cry. So, what if there wasn't? The old woman had given her so much trouble that even if Sanichari had tried to cry, she wouldn't have been able to wring out many tears. The old woman couldn't stand being alone while she was alive. She couldn't stand being alone after death either. Within 3 years, the brother-in-law and his wife were dead too. At that time, Ram Avatar Singh had started a hue and cry about throwing the Dushads and Ganjus out of the village. Terrified of being driven out, Sanichari was on tenterhooks. There was no crying over those deaths either. Was one to weep or to worry about?
Sample complete. Ready to continue?